Alright, so just like we talked about before, I don't really care too much about which guard break you want to use. I'm just doing one that I like. Okay, so the main thing is we have a way that we can successfully and regularly get the person's closed guard open. You'll find the longer that you're training, people open their guards a lot more. They don't just hang on to closed guard, because most of his opportunities to sweep and attack are going to come from him opening his guard. So as you progress along, you're going to find it's not as common for people to just hold you and hold on for dear life in their closed guard. But in the case that he is, I have to do my guard break. So again, same one as before. Once I get this open, like I said, normally I'm going to bring a leg up to establish the fact that he cannot easily close that on me because I'm wide inside of the legs. And the next one we're looking at is our double unders pass. A double unders simply means I'm taking both of my arms and bringing them around his legs this way. You really have to be careful to not bring one arm and then the other, because there's an opportunity here. Yes, especially if you're rolling with Scott or myself, and you do that, we're gonna separate there, catch that triangle, catch you slipping with one arm underneath our legs. It's very important you swim both arms at the same time. So good philosophy here when you're working to pass the guard is either both under, both on the outside or both on the inside. Don't get too comfortable doing this kind of stuff. It can be dangerous. All right, so we got it open and we're here. We have our leg up to keep it separated. I'm going both under. Now, I don't do this pass the traditional way. I will show the traditional way, and then I'll show you how I do it differently and why I do it differently. The traditional way is to make a ramp here with my lead leg, to pinch his knees together, and to drag him up this ramp, and then to drive way forward here and stack him with his hips high over his head. The reason I don't do it this way is because somebody with really good guard retention and guard recovery who's flexible, you won't pass there. They're either going to roll through, recover guard, they're going to invert, they're going to do all sorts of stuff there, because when their hips are elevated, they can move their hips. Okay? I want to keep his hips fairly low when I'm doing this. So after I've separated, I have my leg up, I'm coming here. I'm thinking about controlling the opposite hip, and then I'm going to connect my hip right behind his leg at the top of his hamstring, right underneath his glute. So it's going to look like this. Coming here, I'm making this connection. I'm going to take a little weight off of Scott real quick to show you where my hand is going. It's going to this opposite hip. Now I'm thinking about pinning his leg between my chest and his chest and connecting this hip on this side. So from here, this hip is going to go right underneath his glute. And I'm doing almost a low sprawl type of position. So we're here. Okay. At this point, I have both arms under still. Now all I'm going to do, crawl around, lift my head slightly, let the legs pass. Now we can establish our side control. Alright, so I'm getting the guard open here. Once I separate the guard, leg is coming up. Now like we talked about before, I'm going both under. When I go both under, I'm going to reach this opposite hip. My hip is going to connect behind his glute, right where the hamstring attaches underneath. I'm connecting that hip. Okay? I'm pinning this between my shoulder and chest and his chest. I have both arms hidden underneath so I can't get triangled. Now I'm just going to walk my legs like the hands on a clock, keeping the pressure on the hips until the legs naturally clear. From here, both knees come up. I get control of his head. Once I've established the head control, then I will release the legs and decide where to put this second hand. Some people like to grab here. You can block the hip. Again, that comes down to your personal preference and the style of your jiu-jitsu.